Welcome. Willkommen.
Bienvenue. Добро пожаловать. Witamy.
Benvenuto.
ようこそ
To This Week in Voice Live.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, voice community. And Dave, good morning.
Hello. Pleasure to see you. Thanks for inviting me on the show. It feels,
thanks for joining.
Exciting. Oh yeah, always happy to.
I'm sure a bunch of people today are at the Project Voice event. This wraps up the solid week of Project Voice 2021. Funny enough, Dave, the last time I saw you was actually in Chattanooga at Project Voice last year.
Funny enough, that was the last event for me. So I'm literally been in my gym pants and hoodies now for like 18 months.
Hopefully not the same gym pants and hoodies the whole time.
No, like my closet is hilarious. Like my wife was like, you need more of these because you keep wearing the same ones. So I have like 8, like it's literally in my closet is like 8 hoodies and a dresser of black t-shirts. Although I put a nice blue one on today. I spruced it up a little bit. It's blue, like blue Alexa. And then I have all hoodies and stuff. It's amazing how comfortable you can get with that though. I reached some point in the pandemic where it's like, if I was going out, I was like, I'm just going to keep the sweats on, not changing the jeans, which I never would be that person that was out, you know, and like sweatpants and stuff. It was always jeans or shorts.
My wife makes fun of me. I've volunteered at this scout camp in Maryland for
awesome.
a little over 20 years, and so I have a ton of the casual uniform from the scout camp, and that's my go-to outfit. She says I'm like a cartoon character that I essentially always wear the exact same outfit, except for when I'm on camera. Try to put on a button down at that point.
You stay with what works. Right? Jobs and Einstein had the same clothes, so they didn't have to make the decision every day what to wear.
Yeah, relieves some cognitive burden there.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump into it. So, for everybody that's out there watching, following our normal schedule, although since Bradley's over at Project Voice, getting ready for the Mark Cuban interview, which is shortly after we end. Highly recommend everybody hop over.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna talk about some news. Hear what's been going on in the life of Dave Isbitski, and then play a very competitive game of Drawful with audience members as potential judges, and we'll give out instructions for how people can join in there. So, excellent. Without further ado, so let's see. First is the new announcement of the Amazon Echo Buds V2, and I had not. I had tried Echo Buds, the first generation. I did not purchase them. I'll probably get the second one. I think a lot of times Amazon puts out some early, still beta kind of devices with that first version. But the second one seems awesome. I mean, it has real like active noise cancellation, and apparently it's their own active noise cancellation as opposed to I think they called it active noise reduction in the previous one. It has support for the new AR navigation, the Alexa Transit feature, which seems really neat. And it can let you find the ones that you lost by sort of ringing them like a tile, which is essential for me because I have tiles on like all of my critical hardware and devices all around the house because I constantly lose them.
Yeah, so what's really cool is just getting to be a customer now for Alexa. So it's almost 8 months, and just like seeing the launches, I was watching it along with everybody else. I don't know what's coming. I get excited about what could be in store. And I found the original Echo Buds, if like there's 2 things with it. One is I have tiny ear canals, so they fit me really well. Because I didn't even need to use the
like the special
tips.
Like
yeah. So, and it because it was interesting because when I got them, I was like, oh, these are a perfect fit. And the AirPods always fell out of my ear, like constantly, just walking around. And I'm like, it's because they were too big for my ear canal, right? And so it's like talking to other people is when I would see, it depended on like how they fit. And I think that's an interesting thing, stuff that goes in the ear canal, like versus over the ear. Because I always had my Bose Q35s, which is my Twitter profile with those, when I used to be able to go on planes and stuff.
I have a set of them around here somewhere.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about those when it goes over the ears. And I'm always like adjusting these in the ear things. But the thing that really hit me with Echo Buds was the hands-free talk. Oh gosh, I don't know if I muted my Alexa device because I'm so used to not. If I apologize if any of my devices talk, but just muting, like the hands-free really changed things for me. And like playing skills games out on my deck in the summer, like Starfinder and stuff, hands-free, changed the experience because I have like I'm not in front of speaker and I could move around, I could work in the yard, and I'm just having a conversation. And it's hard to describe that just to people that like at any time, because it's one of those things, when you experience it versus just on paper. So it's like you say, you could ask Alexa things at any time. And people are like, yeah, I could do that today, Dave. But it's like, no, when it's in your headphones, you got like music going and then you're just switching and playing a game. And then I would switch to audiobooks. That was like a light bulb moment for me. It was one of the things that was in like the original like launch video. You would see people walking around. But it's like one of those things I would tell people. I'm like, you just have to kind of experience headphones with hand-free assistance when you don't, because you don't hear anything else. That was a kind of a thing too, is the isolation of just the assistant's voice in your ear.
Yeah, it was like at the voice events up in Newark, where the mayor of Newark gave a presentation about Newark being the connected city of the future, and played that great sort of trailer video about what that vision is. And it's the ubiquitous voice-enabled computing everywhere in the city, and you have your smart glasses, you have your smart headset, and I think he virtually drives the car because he's running out of time on the parking. He has to move the car, and it makes me wonder what it's like. Apple has the pretty highly publicized plans for AR glasses. Makes me wonder if there is a new, a more virtual reality or augmented reality version of Alexa-enabled glasses coming up.
No clue.
Not trying to
even if I was
pressure for
even if I was still there, they wouldn't have told me stuff like that.
Really?
Oh yeah, because consumer devices business, it is very close to the chest.
Yeah, sure.
So what was cool about that is even when I was working there, sometimes I didn't even know, but I would always be blown away. I would feel like, oh, this is so cool. Like they've outdone themselves again. The Lab 126 folks, even before I was in Alexa, I worked on Fire Phone, I worked on Fire TV, I worked in App Store. So it was, seeing what was in the lab always amazed me. It's just a different, like actually creating a product. It's just a very different like way of viewing the world, down to like the metal, the texture, what it actually looks like. It was like that with Fire TV. What does it actually look like in the living room? Is it lit up? If people are watching movies. So it was like always super, super cool seeing that stuff.
And that, I would say, that is one thing, certainly talk about your history, but that's one thing that I found that makes it easy to be an evangelist, easy to talk about the benefits of a product or the cool stuff, is when you are just like, on a nerdy and personal level, just really amazed by the cool tech, the cool product that your teams, that your company is putting out.
Oh yeah,
much better than selling some some widget that is a commonplace thing, or something that doesn't that people don't need or don't want.
Oh yeah, I feel so fortunate. Somehow I've been blessed. Like I continue to get a paycheck and I can feed my family on like this, right? It's like, even what is this? Trying to explain my kids. And AWS, where I am now, I actually like the title more because evangelist isn't a neutral term. And I found that out over time. It would invoke certain responses in people with that title. But advocate, which is what we use in AWS, I like, which is basically what it was, right? You're an advocate.
Yeah.
You're for what it is and people using it. And so my title in AWS now is just develop. I've never, you know me, I've never been big on titles anyway. But it's now developer advocate, which I like, right? I'm advocating for the developer experience and using AWS services and developer tools and things like that. But yeah, what a cool occupation, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
how did you get? I mean, you had a background in, sort of the more personal contributor technology side, BT, Johnson and Johnson, right, and then began the evangelist type role at Microsoft before coming over to Amazon.
yeah. So like, oh gosh, this is going back, but I was professional developer, building systems, loving what I did. I had a dev team, distributed too. I mean, this is going back to 2002, 2003. I had a team in Sao Paulo. I had a team in New Jersey, and I walked into work one day, and I found out that some VP had decided to outsource every developer at the company to, I won't say the company's name. So overnight, I remember feeling like everything I love and I'm passionate about and what I've chosen to go to college for, take on all this debt to do for a living is gone. And I remember that dark feeling, like just this dark cloud. And I was like, I need to pivot. And so I went just Microsoft.com/jobs. And there was this thing called Developer Evangelist. And I started reading it and I was like, basically helping people. It's the beginning of DevRel, right? So it's like, what's the experience like? But basically it just meant somebody that was willing to travel, was really passionate about the space, could actually convert, being a human being into the technology, and kind of walk both those lines. And I still don't even know how I got it. And I'm still friends with people that like started in that space, 2006, 2007 communities. And so it just so happened that like one of the hiring managers knew me from when I was running this project at my other company. Evidently I hired him as an MCS consultant, which was a Microsoft, and I totally forgot. And he was like, he's like, I saw what you were doing. Like when I was a manager, I was one of all those managers where it was do or die for me. Like I was all about my employees at the
Sign of a good manager.
I guess my wife didn't like it because she's like, you're going to get fired over this. And I'm like, yeah, but they can't do this to my employees. Like I was willing to risk what I had. And evidently the hiring manager saw that. And he's like, that is the kind of passion that we want in advocacy. We want someone that's not afraid to tell the company they work for what sucks. And then I had this fire in me. I mean, I still do. I was like, I don't want anyone to ever feel what I felt when I found out that all the jobs were going overseas.
Yeah.
And it was like, I want them. And now I think about that a lot, especially my role now at AWS is with this pandemic and this transition. I mean, ultimately I'm an optimist. And I'm like, what happens? Because I've had people reach out. What happens if someone's pivoting now? They're in a completely different industry and they're like, hey, I want to go into tech. How do I start? Like, what does that mean? And that's exciting for me, right? Is kind of, that's always been my spot. It's like you find people in our industry, they're, they can go really deep. I've always been that mild wide and like an inch deep, where I can take a little bit of everything and like help people on the path. And that's what the role was. So I kind of fell into that and I had all sorts of cool launches. I mean, I did all .NET stuff and Visual Studio. I got to be on Xbox team for 6 months working on stuff and did Windows Phone and Windows 8. And then Amazon was in 2013, super small team, and said it was one person and 1 p.m. So one manager and 1 p.m. And they're like, hey, we're thinking about taking this Kindle stuff and making tablets, and we want to have an app store. What do you think about helping developers with that experience? And it was worldwide. And I was like, totally, I'll make that move. But and I loved my job at Microsoft too. I've been fortunate enough, like the people I worked with, the jobs that I had, every time it was it's kind of like this, and we can talk about this because there's like conspiracy theories and stuff too. Like the reason I left Alexa and AWS, anybody that's been following me for so long are like, yep, that's Dave. I get to this point where like it was 6 years in Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
So even for like a year, probably a year before the pandemic, I was talking to leadership about how I had an itch. Like I've been there too long. Too many people knew me. I want to be the person that nobody knows and is the dumbest person in the room. And I didn't.
It also seems like you've come sort of full circle with having worked on, developer tools.
Yeah, that was, yeah, it was deliberate. I felt like, because I had so much exposure, and it wasn't based on any ability I had. I was just, because it was there early. Somehow it became like this, almost figurehead in some way, which isn't me because I don't like attention. I just want to help people, although it did allow me to help people. Yeah. But I kept being jealous. I remember when Paul Cutsinger went over to like run teams. I'm like, you're building stuff. I'm like, I want to build again. I want to like learn again and build. But I kept feeling like if I went and did that, it would somehow, there's so many people involved, but this is more of me, but that it would somehow hurt Alexa that if I did that, right? And so when the pandemic came and I knew I wasn't going to be traveling, I mean, I was like, this is like 18, 24 months. I'm not going to travel. I'm like, this is it. This is the opportunity for me to take this time and learn again, to just completely be total noob, starting from scratch. And I had AWS is amazing. There's so many things over there. So I had two opportunities at the same time. And one opportunity was very similar to what I was doing. And the opportunity I have now was appealing to me because it's not in marketing. It's actually in the org within Amazon that builds the tools that Amazon uses to make Amazon. So it's the same org that built the tools that Alexa was built with. It's the same org that builds the tools that run retail and that all the AWS services were built on. And then
that's an interesting shift, actually, that it's not just advocacy to the external customer, it's advocacy in that sense to the internal customer as well.
You're going to laugh at this. People that know me are going to laugh at this too. So I fought having the advocacy title. I was like, can I be like a PM or like a product, because I wanted to just try something different. I didn't want to be like, gosh, it's like 15 years now in advocacy. And always, like, to me, you always have to know what your strengths are. And my strength, which I thought was a weakness for a while, but now I think it's a strength, is just learning. I always want to learn, and I learn really quick. And then one of the effects of that is I just naturally share things, which, people that know me are annoyed by that. I'll share whatever I'm excited about, but it's the learning thing. And I was like, I need to learn all this. And so the role, if you want to know the actual things, there's a bit.ly. If you go to bit.ly/AWS Dev Tools, so AWS DEV Tools, you'll see all the specific services. But basically, the org I'm in is the org that writes the SDKs for AWS, the command line tools, the Cloud9 IDE, all of the CI/CD services, so continuous integration, continuous delivery, deployment, all modern app dev stuff. So you could see how that might have been sparked while I was in Alexa, because we didn't have an SDK or command line interface in the beginning. And that's when I first started looking at the AWS SDK, and I was like, this is so cool. I can spin up infrastructure from terminal while I'm writing Alexa skills. Tell me more, I was like, and I didn't have this. I was back when I was coding as a professional coder all day long. Like, I had to order servers. There was a data set. It was right before I came to Amazon. I was part of launching Azure. So I saw the beginnings of it, but it wasn't like it was my day-to-day as a developer. And I was like, how cool is this? And then, so I'm going to date myself, but the last certification I had in the field too was when I met my wife. So it was like 97, and it was a Microsoft certified systems engineer on like TCP/IP 4.0. And so I went and I got a certification. I got my cloud practitioner. So I was like, it's almost 24 years. So it felt retro in kind of a way. Like I started getting these AWS certs again. And I was like, it was just fascinating to me to kind of catch up. And I'm sure if anybody knows, they'll be like, yeah, in 2-3 years, Dave will be like, okay, I figured this out. Now I need to figure out the next thing, you know? So it was, if anything, it was more about me. And there's such a good team at Alexa. And I remember telling leadership, because they would put me on a lot of interview loops as people would come in. And we have this policy. I'm sorry, I keep talking about how my ear canals are good and now they're falling out. We have this policy, this mindset at Amazon of, develop and hire the best, which means any person that I'm interviewing is going to run circles around me. And I would see these people come in and they're so good and they're just genuinely excited. And I got jealous of it. I remember saying, I want that. I want to be like jumping up and down in my seat because it's all new. And so that was part of it too, was like, I wanted to be that new employee that people are like, oh, we're so glad you're here. And the way Amazon does compensation model too, which I really love, is that your first year or two, it's like, you don't have to worry about, well, it's really technically your first year, but compensation, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about a review. And you're taken care of financially. And I never had a company like that. My whole first year, I was worried about making an impression so that I could feed my family.
Sure.
And I could get a good review. And that's not the case at AWS. It's like, go learn, earn trust, and dive deep on problems. And you're here because you're going to teach us, you're really good at what you do. And that's, I just realized I wore a World of Warcraft hoodie and I have all this WoW stuff behind me. So I should have put a different hoodie
Well,
on.
and actually speaking of games, so we have a special guest today to round out the competition. See if we can
I'm
bring
excited.
him on screen.
And I know who he is.
Jeff, good morning.
Hi. This is perfect timing. The company that comes to mow my lawn on Fridays is an hour late. And so they are mowing my lawn as we do this. This is great.
Oh,
That's right.
Blow by once in a while.
My refrigerator broke last night, Jeff, in the kitchen. It went, and so there's a guy upstairs right now. So that's just the way it works whenever there's a live mic.
Yep.
All right. So we are going to be playing a game of Drawful. For anybody in the audience that would like to participate as a guest judge, you can head to jackbox.tv and enter in code VQNV and help determine who is the most drawful artist on here.
Player game. You're not a
I am
tiny
a
group,
terrible
you're
artist, so
sleek
this will-
and compact.
this will
Let's
be-
do this thing. All right, if you look at your devices right now, you should see a secret prompt just for you. Something kind of weird, like Thursdays or a trash can at Arby's. Draw a picture on your device that would have that title, and when you're done, hit send. You'll get points for each player that can correctly guess your title, so have fun!
Hello!
Like,
And hey,
my screen
it's
is
never too
small,
late to join the
my fingers
audience.
are too fat.
Or actually, sometimes it is too late, but it's not too late yet.
Jeff, I love how perfect that drawing of your
I can't hear you.
Amazon look.
I just hear the music.
There we go. I
Yeah,
love how
was that
perfect
like
that Amazon drawing is, Jeff.
Thank you. I spent a little bit of time on that one.
You just gave it away.
And Dave, I think you're the last one. You got to hit send or submit or something when.
I did. It's saying sit back and relax.
Oh, refresh your page. I had the same problem.
Oh, okay. Please draw.
Oh, you shouldn't say what it is, though.
No, I didn't. I read it.
Hey,
You got about
you have
15
30
seconds, no big
to
deal.
hit send or your
Okay.
drawing will be lost forever. I'm not joking. I have all your drawings now, and as much as I want
Somebody out in the audience should turn
let's all take a
turn
look.
these into NFTs or something and sell them for $1 zillion.
Now,
What is
use your
this?
device to type in whatever the heck the prompt for this drawing could be. Here are your choices. Try to pick the real title and avoid all the garbage everyone else typed in.
Hypocrite, Jinx, Happy Smile, Keep Your Chin Up.
Okay, who picked what?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Ah, damn.
I don't even know
Wow.
what Jinx is. It's like Jinx, like when you say Jinx?
Yeah.
Yeah, like how do you
These are
draw
hard
it?
to draw.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have tried to draw the Pokemon, but that wouldn't have been any more helpful.
Okay.
Wow.
The next drawing. Type in.
He is a very
convincing
detailed
title now.
artist.
Okay, here are your choices.
I'm walking here, butterbed, wrinkled sheets, and bedtime.
And here are your picks.
Somebody's good at
Nice.
listeners.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good.
My family
Jeffrey.
likes them a lot.
Are you an artist in normal times as
Now,
well?
This
Not even
drawing.
slightly.
What is it?
And here are your choices.
Less This Mess, Rainbow, Rainbow Fart, and Rainbow Bridge.
Pick something. And here are your picks.
That's a good one.
Jeff's gonna sweep it. Jeff loves board games, so it's gonna be on.
Nice.
I love board games too, though.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, you mentioned World of Warcraft. What video games are you playing nowadays, Dave?
I'm still playing WoW Classic,
Nice.
but I had rotator cuff surgery
Your next round
too,
of
so I
drawing
wasn't able to
prompts
play
are
for
ready
like
to go.
months. Oh wow.
that was a Picasso right there. Yeah, I've been playing
Every
some.
time I hear that, hello, I think it's somebody. Hello.
I've been playing
I'm
some
Mr. Reese's.
Outriders. Highly recommend Outriders. Jeff, are you a big video game player as well?
I am. Sorry, I'm still focused on getting this drawing.
Who wants to make it?
I am. Right now, I picked up a new game, which I don't normally do. It's called Valheim.
Great. All the
Oh,
pictures
yeah.
are in.
I'm
I
kind
saw
of
that.
digging it.
It's nice, man. You like survival games? You like
And now,
Minecraft? Real nice.
another drawing.
Really good.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
My phone is telling me I drew this. Have I ever considered that I might be the only person in the universe, and that everything else, everyone, everything is just in my mind?
It is in your mind. Your reality, you're only getting sensory data. You're actually generating what you think is
Here
here.
are your choices.
That's true. What is this? Ghost Truck, Alphabet Soup for the Soul, Monster Truck Rally Ghost, or Ghost Car?
And here are your picks.
Doing good.
Nice. That was the one.
Oh, it didn't take my thing. I clicked the button too late. Oh no, it gave me Ghost Car. No, it didn't give me Ghost Car. Or Ghost Truck. Okay.
Yeah, Jeff
Yeah, I
is
haven't
sweeping.
played this one before. This is the first time I'm playing this.
Let's take a look at our next drawing. And here are your
What is
choices.
this? French City Streets, Polite City, Polite New Yorker. I don't know if that exists. And Treat Yourself.
Let's see what people picked.
Nice.
Ah, that's a good job there, Jeff.
Thank you.
And the looks like the rich get richer.
Jeff Beast didn't do that.
Sweeping it.
And now,
This one's
one.
hard.
Okay, here are your choices.
Rocket fish, Cupid fishing, me all the time, and a rocket scientist marrying a brain surgeon.
And here are
That
your
is a
picks.
tough one.
It was.
Nice.
Oh, you guys got it.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, Jeff.
Sweeping.
Yeah, Jeff the
I need you
Ringer.
on my-
Good.
Got a lot of experience in this game.
Yeah.
You'll be my partner if we ever play Pictionary.
Awesome. I'm in.
You're my go-to.
And that's all right. Bradley won the last 3 weeks in a row in our Tetris tournament, so it's good to give somebody else a shot to
Oh, nice.
take the tables.
Bradley's a gamer too. We'd be talking about whatever game we would pick up.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I just
yeah, well-
noticed a new feature I hadn't seen in this game before. They just said, hey, you can buy t-shirts now that have the drawings from this actual game in it. And then
Oh,
they give me
wow.
a whole list of every single drawing that we all drew. And then I can click on it and I wonder what a t-shirt costs. I'm not gonna. I want Emerson's rainbow fart. Let's see.
Oh, that actually is a great idea.
Right.
Usually when I play this with my friends and family, they're very profane, so those make some great great t-shirts as well.
But that's
I
not
get- yeah,
bad.
I can see
$19 for a custom t-shirt that you drew.
Hmm.
It's kind of cool.
Well, guys, thanks so much for joining today. This is a lot of fun.
Agreed. Thanks for getting me in here. I like being the surprise guest.
I will say for anybody that is out there, head over to Project Voice. If you go to projectvoice.ai, you can register for the event for free. The Mark Cuban interview is coming up, an hour live interview with Mark about all things voice. Should be pretty exciting.
Awesome.
And Dave, congratulations again on the new role, and to everybody out there, thanks so much for joining, and we will see you guys next week.